Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome. I am here today with a message I didn't expect to come through. I'm not quite sure where it's going. All I know is that I have to record it. There's something about speaking into the silence. And it's a little bit weird because collectively we are in a very loud in-between space, and this is a weird way to phrase it, but it's very quiet. There's a very distinct silence, and it feels very, very loud. It feels like screaming almost, as if the silence was screaming at you. And like I said, we are collectively in that very liminal space right now. We are in February as I'm recording this message. Although the message is timeless, so whenever this finds you and you resonate with it, it will be meant for you. But as of when I'm recording this, it is February, and February is a very, very liminal time. It is this time in between years. And so we are in this collectively and it feels like a pause. And it feels like everything is turned off, everything is turned to mute. And there's something very, very uncomfortable about that. And there is something about the silence of feeling like I have to speak into the silence, and maybe I cannot speak, although maybe I want to, or the other way around. I feel like I'm speaking into the silence and it's unanswered. There's nothing coming back. And it's like the way this message is unfolding right now is very strange to me, because I didn't expect to come on here today. I had a very long day. I'm actually very, very tired. It's late. But there was a question in my mind, and then this feeling came up. And this, like I said, this desire to speak into the void, to speak into the silence. And it was this inner quiet knowing of, I have to record this message now. I have to go and speak into the void. And usually I come online when when spirit is coming to me and coming with a message and wanting me to speak about it. And this time it's somehow different, because I have this feeling of I have to record that. And I think it's, like I said, like a collective energy I'm picking up on. And I sat down and tuned in, and invited spirit in and there was no answer. So there is something about this feeling of, like I said, speaking into the void and there is nothing coming back. And there's also something about not speaking into the void because I am afraid of my call is not going to be answered. And now Spirit is talking to me. Like now they're starting to talk to me and they're saying that there's always some kind of answer. Just sometimes the answer is silence. And sometimes we are meant to listen closer. Sometimes just everything has to be turned off. Like I said before, everything is turned off. It's like I see like when you have on a radio, when you just turn down the volume in order to hear what's going on around you. Because you cannot hear what's going on around you when the music is blasting out of the speakers. So you have to turn it down. And sometimes we have to turn everything around us down so that we can listen to self. So that we can listen really, really closely to what comes from within. What arises from within. And now I just heard there was silence and then there was a song. A song, it's just like one line from some lyrics. And it's something about, and then there's silence. I don't remember which song it was. And then the quiet. That's the quote. And then the quiet. Okay, so there's something about when you, like everything is turned off and you finally get to listen to what's going on, you will find some kind of passion that you thought was lost. And there's something about singing, there's something about music. So there's something about the music in you. So what makes, like, what sound does yourself want to play? Maybe it's very literal. Maybe it's for somebody like you want to make music. Now I hear another song like, you've got the music in you. I also cannot remember what song it was, but it's like, they're like those, okay. So they're like those random pieces coming in from different songs. And so this is like, maybe you have like little pieces of glimpses that come in. Like when you're searching for the answers in this void, in this quiet, in the silence, and then there's like one little piece of a song comes in and then another one, and you don't really know how to piece them together. But it's not about that. It's not about knowing how to piece them together. It's about listening. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm just listening. I'm just listening into the quiet, into the void, and just listening what's coming. I'm not trying to make sense of it yet. I'm just trying to listen. And now I see like the leaf of one of my my snake plant that's over there in the corner, and it's has like this shape like a spear, and it's like a river. Like you have all those pieces of information that are coming in, and they will be shaped into this, like a dart, like a spear. At first it's broad, like you get all those pieces of those glimpses of ideas, of memories. There's something about memories. Piece for piece, like bit by bit, they come up, they come bubbling up. And at the beginning, it's like, now I have like this, all my hands full of those pieces, and I don't know what to do with them, but you're just supposed to sit there with them and keep on listening. And it will shape into this spear. It will narrow down. So now I'm drawn to my oracle deck. And I have to say, it's not surprising, it's a very liminal energy. So I was drawn to my more mystical decks, which I usually use when I'm working with more like underworld deities or beings, very much with, those liminal spaces. Oh yeah, there was... Okay, they say draw the cards first before I come to this piece of all of them. Okay. Wow, okay, so there are two of them. Two of the cards came out in my last video. Which is the Whirling Goddess and Beyond the Threshold of Fear. And I was talking about liminal spaces and like walking the in-between spaces in there. So the first thing that's like striking me when I look at like all the cards that are lying here, we have at least 3 in those cards. We have like all this color coming in. And this is exactly what I meant when I said like there's like all this information coming in, rushing in, and it's becoming narrower, and then there's the illumination. But it's like right now, like when you're still in this collecting phase, like in this nothingness, and then everything comes up, it feels very much like a whirlwind. When you try to make sense of it, when you try to tap into it, it's like a whirlwind. And yeah, that is what I wanted to say before I pulled the cards, is there is a lot of confusion. There's also a lot of back and forth. Like, should I do this? Should I do something else? And 1 minute you're like so sure, and like 10 minutes later you are not sure at all, and you doubt everything. And there's already this piece of advice coming through that's saying like, this is not a good place, this is not a good space to make decisions from. When you're in this back and forth energy, you need to wait, you need to sit and listen until you know where the spear is going, like where is it, what is it pointing at? Now where is it pointing at? Where and what is it pointing at? In a sense of, this is the direction I'm going, but there is also something that it's pointing at. Like, you know, there is something you want to do, have, experience. It's not just the direction it's pointing in, but it's also pointing at something. Only you know what that something might be, or you don't know it yet, but you will. You will know it. And I'm looking at the meanings of the cards. I haven't even read what they are saying. And this one with all those colorful clothes on it says a new gown. So this is something very, very new that's coming in. And it's after you've been in this energy of the whirling goddess and the threshold of fear. There's this threshold, there's this gate you have to step through. And this is, like I said, it's a very, very liminal space. And it's a space where both exists, the silence and this whirling goddess. And I feel the need to say that there's nothing wrong with you if you're experiencing that. If you're experiencing like all the thoughts and all the ideas and this, like I said, back and forth, and you cannot decide on what to land, like what should I do, where should I go? There's also something about a fear, the threshold of fear, but also the fear of falling back into the silence, falling back into the nothingness. Now it's bringing me back to this fear about speaking into the silence. For one, I have difficulties tolerating the silence because the silence, the nothingness, scares me. And so this is why I always speak into it. And there's the flip side where somebody is afraid of speaking and being met with silence. So the silence is scary. And it's easy to overlook that because silence is nothingness, is in and of itself, its nature is nothing. So sometimes it's hard to see, and there's something about moving around the silence, always trying to move around the silence, whatever that means for you. Now I see in this card, like this moving around, there's this the stream of energy that's moving around the center. Okay, the silence is at the center. The silence is at the core. It's at the core of something. Now there bringing me to my tarot deck. The core of something. And I have to say, I don't use that deck very often, so I'm not like very used to working with it. The new gown. There's something about like the newness of what's coming that maybe scares. It's scary. It's scary. Okay, so the first card that's jumping out on me is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is exactly that energy of so many things and I don't know which one to choose. And what I'm immediately drawn to is, again, there's the center and there's like this, something is moving around the center. But at first I thought that a piece of this wheel has broken out, but it's not broken. She's holding it in her hand, but she doesn't even see what she's holding. She doesn't look that way. She's already holding it. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's like this one, it has like this beautiful those ornaments on, and the other ones are very plain. So she's holding this beautiful cup, but she cannot even see what she's holding in her hands because she's looking down. She's not able to see anything. So there is this, like this veil. This, I think it's veil. My words are escaping me. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I'm in this trance state, words, especially because English is not my first language, are escaping me. Veil, yeah, veil is the right word. So she has this veil over her head. She's not able to see it yet, but she's holding something very beautiful in your hand, and she cannot even. Wow, okay, so I just. Whoa. That's weird. I thought I drew 3 cards. Then I realized that beneath one of the cards was the second one, so I was like, okay, there are 4 cards. But now, suddenly, like out of nowhere, I don't know where it came from, was a 5th card. And that one is the Queen of Swords. And look at her. Like, she is gorgeous. And I feel like it's this cup. It's this beautiful cup that she's holding. And this is where, like, from this cup, this gorgeous queen is emerging. And she just popped out of nowhere. Really, I'm not joking. I had them laying on the table, and there was this, it appeared magically out of nowhere. And this is exactly what's going to happen, and you're not seeing it coming. You won't be seeing, you will not be able to see what's coming. So don't try to force it. Sit in the silence and let it emerge. And I was drawn to this card. Like, there's something emerging from this whirlwind of energy, of thoughts, of ideas, of whatever is coming up for you. But out of the middle, something is being born, and you cannot see yet what's coming. All right, so there, like the other 3 cards are wands. It's the 6 of wands, the 3 of wands, and the Knight of Wands. And it's kind of funny because right now I have to concentrate really, really hard to remember the meaning of the cards, which is weird because I know the tarot very, very well. But right now it's like it's escaping my mind. It's like I'm blocked. And the wand energy can be it's this fiery energy. It can be very forceful. It can be like this willpower. It's very much about willpower. And the fact that I am having problems remembering the meanings of the cards is speaking to me about, like, there's something about trying to force something into being, to will something into being, and it's not working. You're just blanking. There's just this nothingness again, this void. And I could panic. I know my old self would have panicked, and I would have, like, admitting in front of the camera that I don't remember the meaning of the cards right now. I would have been very, very uncomfortable with doing that. But right now I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the void, with this nothingness. And there's something in there about being confident because you know what you know. You know what you're able, like, you know what you're capable of. You know what kind of skills you have. You just know it. So you're not ashamed to admit when there's like a hiccup or something is happening out of the ordinary. And you're not afraid to sit with the silence, with the darkness, I heard, which is new. Like, everything was about silence and void, but there seems something to be very dark about it. Like I said, the decks I'm using are very much, for me, that I usually use for underworld, the dark spaces energy. But there's something in there about being confident about, I know who I am. I know what I know. I know what my skills are, what I'm capable of. So I'm not thrown off by a little hiccup, by something like me not remembering what the meaning of the cards are about. And now that I've said it, it came back. Now they are back. So it feels like the three of Wands is kind of like in the front row, and the other twos are a little bit behind it. And the Three of Wands is very much about embarking on a new journey. You know you are about to leap. You know you are about to take the adventure. You're literally waiting for the ship. It hasn't arrived. You haven't embarked on the ship, but you know it's already on the way. You're waiting at the pier. So this is where you are right now. And behind it, there is, for one, the Six of Wands, which is traditionally seen as the card of victory. And I very much feel like it is about success here. So there is success waiting for you on the other side. After you cross this threshold, there is success waiting for you. And funny enough, the King of Wands card here speaks very much to me about the imagery, which looks to me like a fire horse. And we all know, because everybody's talking about it, that we are about to enter the year of the fire horse, the Chinese year of the fire horse. I think on the 18th or 19th of February, in the last days of February, we are entering into the year of the fire horse, and this is what the King of Wands is speaking to me here about. Like, there is there's a sense of adventure in here. There's something about, like, there's, after the quiet, after this nothingness, the space is filled with a lot of adventure, whatever that means for you. Maybe you are literally going on an adventure, and maybe it means something. I'm hearing micro adventures. It's a concept I heard about from friends. Friends told me about it. I thought it was a beautiful idea to make a habit of going onto micro adventures in your everyday life, that you just have like little, micro adventures that, like today, I went on a little micro adventure with my mom, and we went to another city. Like, we took the train, and we went there. We were exploring the city, just having a nice time together, and it was nice. It was very refreshing, and it was. I know for her it was like even more of an adventure than for me, because she's not doing something like that often. But yeah, something like that. So it doesn't always have to be like the big adventure. Although I do feel that for many of you, it will be quite significant what's happening. But not to like downplay that sometimes like even small things can have a huge effect. Okay, so there's like this random example coming to my mind. And I can tell that they're bringing me out of this like underworld energy, because they're bringing in like those everyday, bringing the spiritual into the mundane. Okay. Yes, I love that. I love that very much. So, but they're giving me this example about like what I did today, going on this micro adventure with my mom, and not that this really happened, but maybe like if you do something like that and then you suddenly meet someone there in a cafe and an opportunity opens up, or you discover something in that place that inspires you for, like, to write a book or to create a painting or whatever, and this suddenly brings you onto a new path that will change your life completely. So there's something about not downplaying and not disregarding like the little things. Okay. Anything else that wants to come through? I'm just seeing 3-3 on my power bank. And 22:11 on the clock. Oh, 112233. There's something about progression, like 1, 2, 3, one step after the other, but it's doubled. There's magic in it. Okay. That's weird. What is that? I'm just seeing like you're doing something and it is mirrored in a space that you are not able to see. Like those little things that you do, and there's a space where it's mirrored. And it's having some kind of effect. I hear butterfly effect. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's it with that. They're not giving me more information. All right, my loves. I really didn't expect this to come through, but it feels really beautiful. I don't know. It sounds really, really beautiful. And I have to say, like right now, there are like mirrored numbers jumping out of me like from everywhere. Everywhere I look are suddenly like 4422. Like it's everywhere. Okay. I'm leaving it here. I hope it served. And I am wishing you all the best with this kind of energy. Walking the liminal spaces is not easy, but I want you to know you are not alone, and there is a whole collective walking through it with you right now. And even though there's like this silence and there's not a lot of connection going on, at least not in like what we experience. Okay. So there's like this mirror coming in again. Like there's not just one mirror, but like I said, like it's jumping out from everywhere. Like they're like those mirrored experiences everywhere, like in so many different people. And okay, I want to share one more thing, like a small thing. I had this experience mostly over the last few days, that I was talking to people and sharing something about my life, about like my experiences that were very meaningful to me, but I never really shared with anybody because I felt like this is very unique, or it's something that people cannot relate. And I was so surprised because there were so many synchronicities suddenly coming up with people telling me like, oh my God, I have the same pattern in my life. I have the same weird thing happening. With one person I was talking about like ghosting, like the experience of being ghosted. And we realized, wow, we have like the same kind of weird ghosting experiences with people. And there were so many similarities. And there were a few of those, it was not just one thing. There were several things, several conversations that I had where I suddenly realized, wow, like my own experiences are mirrored by other people in a very peculiar way. So yeah, that was like a little note on the end. Like there is like this whole collective that is connected with you, and we are all mirroring each other. We are not alone in this. We're walking through this together, even though you maybe cannot see us or hear us. But I am speaking into the void. I am speaking into the nothingness now so that you can hear it, and so that maybe my experiences, and I can tell you what I've been talking about today, I've been experiencing this too. Like I am in it too. So that it may resonate with you, and you can see yourself mirrored in me and mirrored in the message and in the cards and in the collective, and the knowing that you are not alone. We are all in this together. So on that note, I wish you all the best with it. I would love to hear from you, although I can tell it's like this, like I said, this very silent place that we're in right now. I would still love to hear your voice. And if it's just maybe a little thumbs up or anything, I would love that. And yeah, I wish you all the best and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye.